Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the CBL X's and O's podcast for season 2023. I've got Tom O'Connor from the Seymour Blasters joining me again today, and we're sitting down to review what was round 8 in the Northeast Conference, our final regular season round. It's nice to be at the end of the season, is it, Tom?
It is. It's something different pre-Christmas. So obviously a little bit of a shorter season. It's where the fun stuff starts to begin now, Matt. Finals right on this weekend. So it's some looking forward to breaking down what these games were on the weekend, and then later in the week jump on with you for another one to preview the finals.
Yeah, let's start in the men like we have all season. And Mansfield hosted Myrtleford in what was Myrtleford needed to win to lock in a position in the finals, and that they were able to do, running out 20, just over 20-point victors. And Jalen Barker is hitting form, shooting 37 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Expected win by Myrtleford this one, Matt. Jalen obviously comes out with his 37. Probably another big point is Levi Young he's a up and coming big within that team, very athletic, and no, it's well done to Jalen. Obviously, he's carrying that form through from last weekend. But well done to Myrtleford. The challenge was set. You accepted it, and you get yourself a finals berth.
On your team, Seymour took on Albury, which was pretty much a do or die clash for finals between these two teams, and you guys were able to run out victors just under that 20-point margin.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Season on the line, your back's against the wall. It's who's going to take the challenge, and there's guys that step up for our group. Obviously, Keenan Gorski coming in off the bench, knocks down some big shots. Eden Hobbs with some massive defensive plays that then leads to the offense. But it's just a well-rounded team effort that we found on Saturday night, defensively locking in, accepting the challenge of, well, you lose and you're sent with your bags packing, and there goes the chances of what you could do. So no, it was a great team win, and yeah, you get yourself a finals chance.
And Wallen had two games this weekend, and they first of all travelled to Shepparton to take on the Gators, and they ticked the first box on Saturday night by winning the first game by that's just over 30 points. And big Luke had a tremendous game by the looks of it.
Yeah, 40 points to Luke. Might have had a little bit of a look at the stats myself, and majority of it coming from the two. So I was from the 2-point range. So tough weekend for them, two games, and it's always hard to look forward to what what you can do. And well done to keep the focus and on that one game, especially a huge game in Shepparton. And they come away with the win. Probably a standout point for Shepparton was Dylan Wayman with his 24 points. So obviously, shooting prowess that he does have would have come into play. And knowing that this game was close early, well done to Wallen being able to extend it out and get yourself the win.
Wangaratta hosted Wodonga, which was going to shape some positions down towards the bottom end of the ladder. And Wodonga got, a 20, 25, 24-point win there. And Tommy Crow shooting 12 points has finished his season with a little bit of a score.
Yeah, absolutely. And probably the one guy that's found some form real late the last 2 weeks is Byron Hosey as well, coming out with 20 points. But probably, Tom Crow would have been the leader in that group, especially against the younger bigs of a Tim Holden and those of the like. It's great to see one of the Mars leading that Wangaratta group with Sam there, 13 points. So it's great to see him back in there, and probably a high to finish on for Wodonga as well for the season they've had.
And Sunday, Benalla welcomed Shepparton into their home court for the first time this season. Benalla played in Benalla, and they got over the line by just 5 points against the Gators.
Yeah, I haven't spoken to Wally yet, and I'm sure he'll be listening to this later in the week. But it's great for Benalla to be able to get back on the home court Great for the town to be back there. And yet again, it was Eric Miraflores leading the way with his 22. Good to see Sam Bex has got his started to find a few shots there. But for the Gators, it's a positive weekend to finish on for them with a close game there. Nick Dodd and Dylan Wayman obviously leading the charge. But no, well done to Benalla, locked in that top position that I know we'll talk about shortly. But they had a challenge themselves, and well done, accepted, and they come away with a win.
And then our last game of the regular season was Wallen hosting Wangaratta, and Wallen ticked that second box they needed to tick for the weekend to get the victory and finish in second spot on the ladder. And, that was a pretty easy victory by the looks of it over Wangaratta.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big win there. Probably two guys, Damon Anderson and Jaden O'Brien, like coming in off the bench. 25 for Damon, but it's it's a tough thing to do. You've got to go and get a win, and obviously going into it, they were feeling confident with the result they'd put up the night before, and they lock away that what's going to be a home final for them. And it's probably been a while since they've had a home final, having to travel the last couple of seasons in those semis. It's they're going to feel comfortable being at home and go in with a lot of confidence as well. So well done to Wallen, ticked off the two wins for the weekend.
That's it. And we'll have a look at the ladder that is now our final ladder for season 2023. And Benalla finish on top with an 8-2 record with the head-to-head against Wallen, who finished second with an 8-2 record as well. Myrtleford finished third, having the head-to-head against Seymour, both teams with 7-3 records. And just outside of the top four is Albury with a 6-4 record, followed by Shepparton 4-6, Wodonga 3-7 record, and then Mansfield and Wangaratta both had 1-9 records, with Mansfield having the head-to-head in that situation. So our top four is now set, Tom. It's going to be exciting semi-finals next week.
Yeah, I obviously for myself can't wait to be on the floor playing. But just looking at that, Matt, what a season it's been. You got two teams on 8 wins, 2 on 7. You got a team on 6, and you went into the final round not knowing where the top 6 are going to finish. I don't think I've ever seen that before in many seasons at all. So it's great for the competition, and bring on finals.
That's it, finals time. But before we get to finals, let's have a look at the women in round 8. Seymour have come out on top, having 2 big wins this weekend to lock in first place. And it all started Saturday night at home when they took on the Wodonga Wolves. And Carly Cranston shooting 19 points has obviously hit some form at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably had the spectacle of being able to watch that game, and it was Seymour that got the early job done on defense, really locking in, limiting Wodonga to one shot a lot of the time, and then running transition, being able to get early points there. They blew it out early and were able to maintain it. Probably Caitlin Kennedy off the bench shows that the way the depth was used throughout the game. She's a youngster that's just come out of the under-16s for Seymour and now into the 18s, and she was able to get herself 18 points. Wodonga missing a couple of players, Seymour missing a couple of players. It's going to shape for what's going to be a great final series for both teams. That's for sure.
And Shepparton hosted Wallen Saturday night and were able to tick the box with a victory and lock themselves a top 4 position.
Yeah, absolutely. We spoke about it was going to be a challenge, and they've accepted it. Mackenzie Clark coming out with 26 points is huge, and to come out a 15-point victor going into finals is going to give them the confidence. And I know we'll break down the finals later in the week, but well done to Shepparton. You are back into the competition, and you get yourself a chance at a finals berth.
And then Sunday, Seymour had another home game, this time against Albury, and they ran out 30-point victors to make sure they really solidified that spot on the top of the table.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. And there was an early start by the home side, obviously 20-3, I believe it was at quarter time, and being able to keep that high power of Tamika Coleman and Alira McCowan to just 21 points between them, Matt, is huge. They've been putting that up by themselves. So a real focus defensively. And then to see the leader of Nicola Stewart, as much as she only had 14, it was more her presence on the court defensively, being there just as a deterrence, which allowed for the players like Casey Lennox to go and get her points in transition and for others to be able to create. So yet again, a successful weekend by the Seymour women, and opens up finals for them a long way.
It sure does. And the last game of the regular season was Wodonga taking on Shepparton, and Wodonga made sure they got their 5th win for the season, having a couple of inclusions back on Sunday.
Yeah, you see the likes of Liz Murphy and Jess Freeman back into the group, and what it does instantly is, as much as they didn't probably score as much as the night before, it's going to give that stability back to their group, and they come out with a win. And obviously, they weren't going to change position on the ladder after the result from Saturday night, but winning form going into finals is always handy. It gives you that confidence, and you need to be able to carry it through into your training. So well done to Wodonga, come away with a win on the back end of a doubleheader.
That's it. Now, final ladder shows Seymour on top with a 7-1 record. Closely followed in second is Albury with a 6-2 record. Wodonga third, 5-3. Shepparton 2-6 round out the top 4, and then unfortunately Wallen in last place couldn't get a win this season with a 0-8 record. And like you said earlier, this now shapes the finals, and it's going to be a very interesting tussle, especially that second, third semi-final between Albury and Wodonga.
Yeah, absolutely. So Seymour, as you've said, Matt, will play Shepparton. It was always a battle this weekend for those top 3 teams as to who wants the home final, who wants to be playing on a floor that they're comfortable with. And now Seymour and Albury, it's in their hands of you get to play on your home floor, you get to get your crowd along to the games. Not saying they won't travel, but you get to have your crowds there, and it's going to be fun. There's a bit of rivalry between some of it as well. Seymour, Shepparton, Albury, and Wodonga, battle of the border up there. So probably the thing for Wallen to take from the season is keep the group together now. Bring them through whatever you need to, but come into next season, build that group again, and they're going to come a long way. You've got a young group, you've got to keep building it. So I'm really looking forward to what the finals is going to do for both.
That's it. That's our round 8 review, and our regular season is now done and dusted, and we move into the final series. So look forward to jumping on a call with you later this week as we discuss our final series. And for our listeners at home, stay tuned and catch the preview later in the week.